Possession of this game means to both these ball clubs.
Whistle finally blows after absolute chaos. Yeah, 66 degrees. Feels like the first time Notre Dame and Michigan have played when it hasn't been 30.
I'm rounding up to 70. That's what we take here in Ann Arbor in the Midwest in the month of March. You could see Michigan gained possession off of that scrum, but they didn't clear it within 20 seconds. It went out of bounds, but the 20-second clock was already exhausted.
And Will Angrick going right to the cage, and an immediate goal for the Irish.
You think about this Notre Dame team lost on the offensive end of the field from their back-to-back national champions in 23 and 24. Eric Dobson, the most particular loss in the midfield, but Will Angrick has really put together a solid beginning to his 2025 season. Just off of the substitution pattern, gets underneath the defense, switches from the right hand. Oh, and number 27 in white as well, Aiden Mulholland. They're the two that have been around for a long time. They are the leaders of this Michigan offense, who coincidentally back-to-back Big Ten tournament champions. So a couple of two-time champs tangling here today in Ann Arbor.
Champs in different ways. Kevin Connery said, we'd like to get it going a little bit earlier if possible, but he appreciates the progression his team makes throughout the season. Late in the shot clock now, approaching 10. John Morgan, he's been hot recently. Takes the shot, and it leaks through. John Morgan with his 5th goal this season, all over the last 3 games plus.
Shorten the shot clock, but I like Michigan attacking the shorties for Notre Dame. Morgan with a sweep, short time. This is not bad defense. You're in the gloves, you're getting pressure. If you're Ricciardelli, you've got to make this save. These teams are missing program-changing players. Notre Dame, Pat Kavanagh, brother of Chris, and on the other end, Mikey Boehm, who just rewrote the record books here at Michigan and was just an incredible player. But like most teams around the country in this post-COVID era, trying to find the answers.
Great save from Taylor, who's trying to chase it down. It goes out of bounds. That was on the doorstep for Kavanagh.
And Taylor thought he was going to have possession. So on the restart, you're not allowed 5 seconds as a goaltender. So Taylor was a half beat slow getting back to his cage because he thought he won the race to the end line.
Able to recover initially, ends up in a Notre Dame goal. Devin McLean getting the start today.
It's a good news, bad news situation. It's a dangerous proposition when you're a netminder trying to get the ball on a run out. You make the call closest to when and where it goes out. I think that's clearly Kavanagh's ball, but you could see Taylor actually didn't think he won the race to the end line. Kavanagh kicked the stick away of Taylor inadvertently, and I'm not a goaltender, but I think when you get back to the cage late, your heart's racing a little bit more. I thought he was going after the ball to pick up a ball, but his stick got knocked out of his hands, and that allowed Kavanagh to pick it up. And once you're ready to go, referees blow their whistle.
Notre Dame with it once again. Michigan just can't seem to get the ball, but yeah, Taylor made a great effort. And with that last assist going to Chris Kavanagh, he now has 200 points in his Notre Dame career.
He's terrific. Definitely misses his brother, as does this entire Notre Dame team, but he is establishing himself as an elite player in his own right. He already had established himself as the elite player. Just like that.
Off the scrum, ends up in the back of the net. Kavanagh. His 16th goal of the year, 2nd in the ACC in goals per game. And what impresses Kevin Corrigan the most about him is he endures so much physical contact and still able to finish.
He invites the contact, the errant pass. If you're the goaltender, Hunter Taylor, you have got to find that thing, clamp it, and get it into your crease. There you see a little bit of miscommunication right there. Notre Dame gets away with a little, but this is a team that has confidence, and they're recalibrating. Losing players like Mikey Boehm, Bo Pettersson, Justin Wheatfeld off of last year's Big Ten champion.
reloading, and Kevin Connery talked about how fun it is to see new leaders grow into the program. At a certain point in the season, the last couple of years, the guys just seem to realize we don't have much time left together. This group specifically, we have to kick it in gear, and they have.
Yeah, even though the calendar just flipped to March, conference play begins next week.
Jake Taylor, a wizard around the cage.
Richard Daly rebounds from the bunny he gave up a few minutes ago, and he makes a beautiful save. This is good offense out of the timeout. Mulholland gets his hands free, good angle. Richard Daly able to save it, corrals the rebound. Then we go to the other end. Jake Taylor has just been a Wolverine killer during the course of his career. A little behind the back, some flair. If you're just trying to make plays, but they're just not there, he just has to be a little bit more patient, a little bit more judicious.
Angrick had the first goal today. Busenkill, straight away Kavanagh. Angrick fires too high.
I like the motion. You can see the sharing of the ball by this Notre Dame offense. Something we just haven't seen outside of the extra man opportunity from this Michigan 6-on-6 settled offense.
Shot clock approaching 10. Go time for Notre Dame. Angrick right in front, and the finish. It's McLean. His second goal today, and the Irish lead by 4.
I like how loose and fast this Notre Dame offense is playing so far in this game. Short time in the shot clock. Angrick running out of angle. You figure he's just going to cycle it behind the cage to get a backside look. He sees the slide. There's no reason to go there if to the ball when and where it goes out. Great hustle, great sellout by both of those athletes.
And Richie Ardelli making another save. He's got 5 off that close range shot from Nick Rude. Finley with 40.
Well, Richard Daly's been a difference maker in this game too. That's what, probably a third save that he's made that could have been a Michigan goal.
And Kavanagh right near the crease dodges and scores his second goal. A first score of the second quarter for Notre Dame.
You can call this a 2-goal turnaround if you want to. Instead of being at 5-2, it's now 6-1 off of the Richard Daly save and the run out by Reinhardt. And watch the athleticism of Chris Kavanagh. Gets to goal line extended and almost like a little jump cut. Jumps, swims, establishes position, and finishes near post. Going for a ground ball and just lowered his head to pick up the ground ball and ran into a Penn State player. But regardless, to go on the road against a team as quality as Cornell, one of the top teams in the nation, C.J. Kirst, in many opinions, the Tewaaraton frontrunner here in 2025. To do that against Cornell, 25 degrees, on the road, that was a testimony to the toughness, the grit of Penn State. And they've got one of the best close defenders in the nation, Alex Ross, who has done a fantastic job in his matchup so far in 25.
And Notre Dame strikes again. Wilma Harris. The junior out of Chicago puts the Irish on top 7-1. 6 unanswered for Notre Dame.
They continue to roll, and again, they're rolling with 6 offensive middies today. A true first and second line. Maharris just gets to the middle of the field, wins his matchup incredibly far away from the goal. Nobody picks him up, and the finish. I mean, that's just coming right down State Street if you are the goaltender, Hunter Taylor, for the Michigan Wolverines.
Trying to get organized here in the booth. Some wind is causing chaos as Michigan finally stops the streak for the Irish.
If you want to talk about resilience, go blue. Recovering from the wind. The pick at X directly behind the cage. And that's just
For Princeton to help Michigan set up again.
an errant pass. And credit Michigan for being disciplined on their ride. They didn't run to the ball. The errant pass, they're able to gobble it up and get it back on offense. So this is a second chance opportunity. And Michigan, these are the type of situations they really need to capitalize. They really need to cash in.
They've defended better here in the second quarter than the first, and what a find! Straight away, it's Rude, the recipient. Ryan Cohen with the assist, leading the Big Ten in feeds this year. It is 7-3.
And Cohen is someone who's going to have to make plays, and you can tell the respect the Notre Dame defense has for him. Again, the two-man game behind the cage, miscommunication. Right now, you're on the Ferris wheel. And nice job by Cohen. Draws the slide. Rude with the easy finish. Good to see number 4. And we know Will Schaller, Colin Burlace, all those guys are going to be on the defensive end, ready for a potent Virginia attack.
Awesome lacrosse across the board, wrapping up the non-conference. Conference playing the Big Ten starting next weekend, and there's Kavanagh again. Hat trick for one of the best players in the nation. The 24th of his career and the 3rd of his career against the Wolverines.
Richard Delly continues to impress between the pipes. That's a good look. If you're Michigan, Riley with the shot. Richard Delly uses his feet to make the stop, and there's nothing fancy here. I mean, this is vintage Chris Kavanagh. Catches the ball on the far wing, sweep. Coordinator Scott Bita, one of the best in the business. He has really done a terrific job since taking that assignment on a couple of years ago. Everybody remembers him from his prolific playing days as a Rutgers Scarlet Knight. So they're getting looks, and this is a good transition opportunity.
Here's the shot and a score! Carson Billig with his first goal of the year in transition to give the first goal of the second half to Michigan.
Or you can get a juice goal like this. Good defense by number 20 in white, Lucas Delgado. And then here comes Billig. Slow break. What's he going to do? Is he going to hit the point? AT's not going to shoot it. He doesn't have any funk in his bag. Stop. Rip. His assignment free by utilization of a screen.
Here comes Faison, quick first step. Faison to the other side, and an easy doorstep finish for Taylor. It all started with Faison. It's 9-4 Notre Dame.
Out of the timeout, Notre Dame takes advantage of the miscue. Let's take a look at the pick. Yeah, again, just not had light not fallen down. Probably wouldn't have been called because no advantage would have been created. But there you see the speed and the burn of number 14 in blue, Jordan Faison. Look at him just glide by Mason Whitney, who's a terrific defender. The defender, that's when the referee's going to make the call.
Back to Faison. And a wide receiver for the football team. Went to the national championship game this year. Busenkill fires and scores. Unassisted for Busenkill, the unflappable junior out of Garnett Valley, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, and this is what Faison now does. They got to respect his dodging ability from the get-go. Gets a step. Busenkill then just that sweep. I love. He can play some defense. 2, he can create transition, and 3, he can clear the ball, which he just did right there.
Nice save for Taylor. Notre Dame regroups. Here comes Kavanagh. Straight away, Faison scores. 3 in a row for the Irish.
Terrific ball movement, unselfish. And when you had the dodging success that Kavanagh, number 50 in blue, Faison, number 14 in white, when you got to slide. And they've got the Michigan defense a double, great vision, and then Kavanagh throws it back from where it started. From where, even in the shot clock era, where teams can't just bleed the clock the way that they used to prior to the shot clock, but still with those possessions, you put tremendous amount of pressure on your defense and your goaltender.
Taylor's done all he can today, but Notre Dame really starting to break through. Oh, top shelf. Jalen Seymour, the senior, with his first goal today and the 6th of the year.
Senior out of Melville, New York, just gets top side, and he is going to paste the upper 90. After a couple of tic-tac-toe kind of passing goals, Seymour just uses his size and his length to get above goal line extended. And look at the placement of this shot. That is backyard perfect. Nestles it inside the far post. With what they've demonstrated, with what they have offensively, what they have defensively, the wins that they've been able to post. I mean, they've knocked off Syracuse. They were tested at Loyola. They had to come back from a 3-goal deficit in a tough environment. Ridley is one of the toughest places to play for an opponent.
What a spin and a score there for Kavanagh. His 4th today. He is just absurd.
Talked about the face-off, nice and clean, quick off the whistle. Hagstrom wins it, plays it back, and then the clear is successful, and then you get it on the offensive end. And clearing has been a little bit of an adventure here for Michigan. This is just fundamentals and stick work. Yeah, but back to Maryland. I mean, the wins over, Loyola, Syracuse, Princeton, a big win, and then that big win over Notre Dame. Richmond, who is playing some terrific lacrosse.
Jeffrey scores. Michigan could not clear, and Jeffrey makes him pay.
Well, that's why he's in the lineup. Michigan struggling to clear. There you see the 20 seconds evaporating off of the shot clock. That's what the officials use. And then Jeffrey off the restart. I'm ready to go. Blow the whistle. Gets it back on the run and just drills the top shelf. Matt Jeffrey, two-sport athlete, getting an opportunity
here with 30 seconds left in the third. Outscoring Michigan 6-1 in the third quarter. After Michigan scored the first goal, had possession, it was 8-4, momentum was building, and everything flipped. 15 seconds. Down to 8 seconds, Angrick. Turning shot, and he sends it in. Snuck it by Taylor. That's 15 for Notre Dame, and the second goal for Angrick.
I mean, if you want to call it struggling the last couple of weeks for Notre Dame, losing to Maryland, losing to Ohio State, one player that was steady is number 10 in blue, Will Angrick. Short time, just taking it to the cage. And that's just a short side shot that solves Taylor. I think this one caught him off by surprise.
Again. Nothing has been easy today for Michigan. We mentioned Maryland upcoming for the Wolverines. Duke is next for Notre Dame, but a couple of weeks to heal up, get right. I think they're going to feel a lot better going into that game after today. Add another. Will Majerus. His second of the game makes it a 12-goal lead for the Irish.
I've been impressed with Majerus today. He's got a good burst. He's an attackman, getting an opportunity to play in the midfield for this Notre Dame team, and he has been terrific today. They're winning their matchup so far away from the goal that slides aren't even in position to come just yet. It's not a bad recovery, but once you get leverage like that, go maybe give a third midfield a little bit of run. Don't want to risk injury. And you also want to give reps to guys in case there are injuries or any other extenuating circumstances as you get deeper into your season. And you are looking at a nice little break before they take the field again in an ACC matchup against the Duke Blue Devils, who survived Richmond in overtime earlier today.
Yeah, it was 12-12 in OT last time we checked. Duke escapes, number 6 in the country coming into the week. Add one more for the Irish. Brock Behrman with the latest.
They see a substitution making a play on the attack for Notre Dame. I've been impressed all game long with this midfield unit, particularly Will Angrick. He's got good vision. He's disciplined, fundamentally sound. Draws 2 white jerseys, finds Behrman.
Just straight goals for Notre Dame. It looked like we might be in for a pretty good finish here, and then the Irish just decided to kick it into gear.
Without a doubt. Timeout, Michigan. Possession, a little bit of momentum after the Billy goal, and then everything has just kind of gone south since that point for the Wolverines. And this is disappointing because when you look at their body of work, yeah, they got dominated by North Carolina early in the season. They lost to Duke in overtime, wins over Canisius, Cleveland State. Could have won the game against Harvard. You know, today it just kind of got away from them in the middle of that third quarter.
Ran into a buzzsaw Notre Dame team that came in angry. That goal from Dannett, the transfer from Princeton. Christian Ronda, Cahal Roberts came from Princeton to Michigan for their graduate seasons last year, continuing that pipeline.
Bo Pedersen as well.
Yep.
First team All-American in the history of Michigan lacrosse. That's a nice shot by Stannett. We talked about him earlier. It was a correct call, but it just took momentum away, and then Notre Dame seized that opportunity and just made play after play after play. So I think for Michigan, it's taking care of the ball better, trying to find some answers at the face-off dot, and just being a little bit more disciplined. Like, those are the things I think that Kevin Connery may focus on this week in practice and preparation for Maryland.
And another goal for Stannett. Goes down low against Richie Ardelli, make it 2 in a row.
This is what you want to see if you're Kevin Connery and his staff. Continue to fight, continue to play, and they're doing just that. Stannett with another goal. Big body. Graduate student out of Brighton, New York. Just catches it, turns and finishes.
Could contribute in ACC play, conference play. Same thing goes for Michigan down the stretch of the season.
Another failed clear for the Wolverines.
That's the 3rd today. Notre Dame going right to goal and scoring again. The finish from Jeffrey Richie Ardelli and the assist to Brady Picorni. Freshman to senior.
Yeah, Picorni, a highly touted freshman. Nice to see him be able to make a play. And Richard Deli, an extra man specialist, getting it done off of the quick restart. Notre Dame whistle ready. Guys understand it's their opportunity. There we see another failed clear. Can't beat the 22nd. And again, Notre Dame, looks like Matt Jeffrey a few minutes ago. Whistle ready. Picorni down to Richard Deli. It has been all Irish all day here in Ann Arbor. It was what, 6'1", 6'2", is 6'1", 6'2". Michigan just trying to end this thing on a positive note, make some plays. That's a good offense.
They're looking for Stannett, who scored the last 2 for the Wolverines.
Yeah, a little triangle play, pass down, pick. Or no pick, just a cut. Mishandled, but it was there. And that's what, we're kind of talking about. The execution, the fundamentals.
Hard shot, and it goes. Gavin Burlace sends it in. 19 goals for Notre Dame for a second straight year against Michigan.
Younger brother of Maryland defender Colin Burlace, as the Terps are getting ready to take on Virginia later this afternoon. Just a nice little give and go. Burlace sets his feet, tall midfielder. Lets it rip, sends it far side in the second half of his games here in 2025.
Michigan takes over 3 to play. Hopkins last won it all in 2007, preseason favorite in the Big Ten. We'll see if they can get it done this year.
Yeah, two straight quarterfinal appearances, losing to Notre Dame in 23. And that was like a feel-good quarter. It never feels good, but that was like, okay, hey, we made it to the quarters and Notre Dame won the national championship. Last year was disappointing, losing to Virginia in overtime. That was a team that a lot of folks felt like could have been that championship weekend entrant with a shot at a national championship, and now they've just recalibrated and going after it this year.
That was a heck of a swim and a finish for Emmett Houlihan. Able to dodge well and score Michigan's 7th goal.
Just taking his man out to the wing. The freshman number 9 in blue, being Logan Gutzwiller, getting some minutes. And Houlihan just takes advantage of the matchup and come on in the water.